When Andrew Wiggins pulled off a walk-off alley-oop in overtime on Monday, the moment in a vacuum gave the Miami Heat a 140-138 win over the Cleveland Cavaliers to move to 7-4 on the season. Peel back just a bit further, and Miami is now on a 3-game winning streak despite not having Tyler Herro and Bam Adebayo. But if one hits the rewind button even further, the walk-off from Wiggins symbolized a complete 180 from a franchise that looked dead in the water just 6 months ago against the very same Cleveland squad. Andrew Wiggins' walk-off gives Miami a crazy win. What made Miami's win the most impressive is that they just kept attacking and never let up. After a slow first 6 minutes, the Heat's offense kept coming in spurts, and every time Cleveland had a body blow that made it seem like Miami would be walking out with a moral victory, the Heat responded every time. It's far from where this team was back in April after Cleveland came to town and ended Miami's season with a 4-game sweep, where 3 of the 4 losses were over 20 points, including a 55-point loss in the closeout game. Miami made it a point of emphasis to revamp and speed up its offense this offseason, but even the most bullish of Heat fans couldn't have envisioned a turnaround this quick. Jaime Jaquez Jr. continues his turnaround. Perhaps no player is more symbolic of this turnaround than Jaime Jaquez Jr. Back in April, JJJ was nothing more than a mop-up duty guy coming off the bench who played 19 total minutes in the series. On Monday, Jaquez Jr. had 22 points, including a shot to send the game to overtime in the first place, 13 rebounds, 7 assists, and 2 blocks. Also emblematic of Miami's turnaround is that they didn't do it chasing a star. They instead settled on Norman Powell in a move that looks like the heist of the offseason so far. Powell had 33 points and was plus 17 on the night. Throw in the 23 points from Wiggins, and the Heat look like one of the most potent offenses in the NBA, all without their 2 best players. On betting markets, you can still grab the Miami Heat at plus 10,000 to win the NBA title. There are still reasons like offensive rebounding to have concerns, but Monday night proved the Heat are far more than a plus 10,000 squad. The end of Monday night's game between the Cleveland Cavaliers and Miami Heat was something out of a movie. From the back and forth all fourth quarter long, to the Jaime Jaquez Jr. drive and score to get the game to overtime. It didn't stop. And then when all hope looked lost for Cleveland, Donovan Mitchell hit an incredible game-tying three-pointer to tie things up with 0.4 seconds. But right after the crazy hoop from the Cavs superstar, Miami found Andrew Wiggins on a lob as time expired to win the game at the horn. Cleveland wasn't defending at the rim. It's worth noting that Darius Garland left the game early with an issue with his left toe, which he had surgery on in the offseason. As the team waits for word on his long-term status, they prepare to face Miami for a second consecutive game. Only this time, Mitchell, Garland, Evan Mobley, Larry Nance Jr., and Jalen Tyson will all be out. Short-handed Cleveland Cavaliers look for win. Playing without all 3 of your All-Stars from a season ago is never easy. Cleveland will have to do that against a team that just stunned them at the horn less than 48 hours ago. Darius Garland left with a toe issue. Both Donovan Mitchell and Evan Mobley will be resting ahead of the team's game with the Raptors tomorrow night. In addition to those guys, Jalen Tyson is out with a concussion, taking one of their top-performing wings out of the lineup. As the team prepares for a game with this many players missing, this is where their depth can come into play. Second-round pick Tyrese Proctor hit 5 threes in a game just 1 week ago. All of those triples came in the final frame. Fellow Aussie Luke Travers has been called upon before and delivered when needed. There was a stretch on Monday night where Sam Merrill hit 4 straight threes in the fourth quarter, a 12-0 run by himself. DeAndre Hunter has been looking incredibly sharp for the team. Of course, Craig Porter Jr. and Jarrett Allen will both be out there. Dean Wade should have some quality looks. Lonzo Ball will likely draw his second start. This is a team that won 64 games a year ago. A large reason for that was their depth. Stopping Norman Powell and Jaquez Jr. from getting easy buckets can go a long way. Boxing out Kel'el Ware and blocking last-second lobs by putting size in the game should also help. Cleveland Cavaliers look to avoid skid. Getting to play the team that broke your heart just 2 days ago could be good for morale. There is no waiting period for the Cleveland Cavaliers as they now face the Miami Heat again right away. Regardless of the fact that their All-Stars won't be playing, they should stack up decently. The recent play of DeAndre Hunter, who has back-to-back 20-plus point performances, has been encouraging. He also had the ankle breaker of the year on Chicago Bulls guard Josh Giddey recently. Merrill's ability to get hot and hold his own on the defensive end goes a long way. Monday night was also personal for Miami, as they were swept by Cleveland in the first round of the 2025 playoffs. After 178 combined points were scored in the last meeting, look for a bit more defense this time around. And watch for the Cavs' role players to be the ones to swing the game. Pat Riley's distressed star senses have to be tingling. The Miami Heat president always has an eye out for potential bargains within the NBA's elite ranks, and it sure feels like Morant could wind up in the bargain bin amid a disastrous start with the Memphis Grizzlies. The Heat will surely give Morant a look. Even with Norman Powell proving he was this summer's biggest steal, Kel'el Ware reminding folks of his sky-high potential, and Jamie Jaquez Jr. throwing his hat into the sixth man of the year race, Miami remains without the kind of game-changing star who could help this club gain traction in the championship race. The unfortunate truth for the Heat, though, is that a move for Morant wouldn't scratch that itch. Morant has fallen out of the elite tier. It'd be one thing if the Heat merely had to worry about Morant's ongoing availability issues. Because while those are very much real, he made 59 appearances over the past 2 seasons combined and has yet to clear the 70-game mark. At least Miami might be able to talk itself into working around them. For a true fortune changer, those are sometimes the concessions you have to make. You prepare for the worst, hope for the best, and expect reality will land somewhere in between. That's no longer the biggest worry for Morant, though. He's playing a lot for the Grizzlies so far, having only missed 1 contest due to a team-imposed suspension. He just isn't playing at anywhere near a star level. His 18.9 points are the fewest since his rookie year, and they're even less impressive than that sounds. He's taking a whopping 17.5 shots just to hit that mark. His shooting rates, as you might imagine then, are wholly atrocious. 35.2% overall, 16.7% from 3. His 8.1 assists at least match his personal best, but they're also a bit undone by his career-high 4.0 turnovers. So, while he's making some good things happening, he's canceling out a lot of them with his mistakes. And remember, this is a player who previously derived his all-star abilities solely from his offensive output. He's maybe not a walking liability on defense, but he definitely isn't an asset. And he'll always be challenged on that end for his lack of size, 6 feet 2 inches, 174 pounds. So if he isn't a high-end scorer or a difference-making passer, then how is he supposed to be special? While you never want to totally quit on a 26-year-old, it's fair to wonder whether his previous injury problems may have sapped some of his athletic advantages away. He used to seem unstoppable at the rim. Now, he's just a 58.6% finisher within 3 feet, per basketball-reference.com. This doesn't mean Miami has to avoid trade talks entirely, but the Heat would need to get Morant at a deep discount to make it worth their while. And even then, they'd have to temper their expectations about the player they'd be receiving, because he's not the superstar they've coveted for so long.